nerd, 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 nerd. That's right, guys. I'm back in studio again. So, today for our review, we're going to take a look at the movie called Killer Nerd. Here, watch this.
Excuse me, sorry about that. What you got that umbrella for, boy?
Are you addressing me?
This boy's all ready for the rain, man!
Your hair's in pretty good shape. Most men have dried out hair, but your hair's nice and moist.
Yeah, nice and moist. Stupid cat. Here, pussycat. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Around the corner, eh, you little bastard?
Okay, quick synopsis, as I've seen it. Basically a killer nerd. The end. There's not much to it, really, there's not. So let's go ahead and just give into our tallies and then I'll just tell you all about it, right?
That body count. That body count.
On our body count, I got 7. It's not bad for killing nerds. Or the killer. The nerd who is killing. Not bad. The deaths are not even, I mean, they're pretty violent. You know, kind of toxic Avenger trauma type of way. But let's go ahead and get into everyone's favorite subject, the nudity. Let's get skin deep.
Right now.
Yeah, I got at least one pair of boobs. For sure, one pair of boobs. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't nothing to write home about. They're just there. In and out, gone. Okay. Not in distress, so I guess that's good. I'm really padding for time. Sorry. Let's go ahead and find out who our coveted Joe Grizzly Award's gonna be.
Let me introduce myself. I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch.
Yeah, for my Joe Grizzly, I'm gonna give it to the character known as Slick Dick. Yes, Slick Dick gets my Joe Grizzly. Why? Because I feel like he was the most likable character in this movie. And it's just like, and this is a guy who's basically, this was made in 1990, so it was before the huge push-pull, negging kind of thing that happens with like those guys. You know those guys who use like neuralistic programming to try and get girls to go to bed with them? Yeah, that thing that didn't exist back then, but now it exists now in this universe. So that go ahead and brings us to our final verdict. Okay, so I was hoping for a Christmas movie. I let the random generator pick this one. That's why we're here, just to be clear. Also, if I'm not mistaken, it's another one of our great friend Joey DeCarlo's picks. So, yeah. That being said, I didn't come into it with a lot of expectation. I did not know that it was a Lloyd Kaufman movie, which I was like, oh, cool. I know what to expect now. Toxic Avenger, Chicken, that one he did with the chicken. Like, there's another movie where he's not a all there type of guy, for sure. But going into it, I was just like, no, the video didn't stop. I'm just waiting. Yeah, that's how long it was. That awkward pause of just doing nothing for the longest time, that's what this movie was. Literally for an hour and a half. For the first hour of this movie, the movie's only an hour and a half long. The entire hour of this movie, just build up. And not even build up like suspenseful build up. Just build up of people doing shit. White people doing white people things. And it really just kind of irritated me. And I was like, well, not so much irritated as put me to sleep several times. This was on par with James Bond. Like especially the 1990 fucking MIDI supersonic soundtrack that they had going in the background, which was clearly a ripoff from whatever Room or Birdemic bullshit, you know. Like, I'm so glad I started filmmaking in the 2000s when we could just steal shit from the internet, because there's like no thing in this movie besides the kills, which don't come until 30 minutes towards the end, that is interesting about this movie. Like, I would get it if Harold, the main character, literally Harold, was kind of sympathetic. The kind of like, he's doing his best to try and pick up women. Okay, it's not a great motivator. It's not something like he's trying to do, but like, the outside world really isn't trying to push him as much as they think it, like he thinks it is. He just feels downtrodden because he's like, well, I can't get women. And it's like, well, I can't get women. I can't get women. I try all the things. I pick up a teaching class. I change my entire persona, even though my mom tells me not to. And the girl who's kind of a slut tells me not to. And I'm just like, I don't get what are you doing, bro? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. This is a movie that was literally an hour and a half and it felt like 3 hours. I was sitting here just bored out of my skull. And I was like, I expected better from the guy who brought us Toxic Avenger. Like, because even in Toxic Avenger, the bullies murdered that fucker within the first 30 minutes. And it's like, wow, fuck those guys. And I didn't get a fuck those guys type of moment with anybody in this movie. Like, I gotta fuck this whole universe kind of thing. Like why is Sally such a slut? Why are these two girls who are really into Harold in like 20 minutes and then like, they can't get booze or weed from their drug dealers? And it's like, well, I guess the party's over. And instead of just being cool and be like, well, yeah, I guess the party's over and going home, because that would be a boring movie, Harold gets upset. Like, no, I want the party to continue. Like, what? That's not how this works, bro. You can't just, like, you take the L and go home. Like, you jerk off and go home. Go jerk off. That's it. And the drug dealers who pick on Harold in the beginning and then beat him up in the end, and it's like, they're not even, like, good. I mean, I guess if they were black, they would be more intimidating, but they're not even, like, intimidating as white people. Like, just, they're not intimidating, period. And Harold, who kind of is big, stocky dude, he just, like, he could take these guys if he really, like, go take a karate class or something. I don't know. It's just like, I feel like you have this money. You spent $80 on learning how to pick up women from an obvious scam artist. His name is Slick Dick. Come on, bro. It's in the 90s. Go join those multitudes of dojos that are opening right now. Like, find Mr. Miyagi, become more of a badass and build some confidence in yourself, and the game is over. Look, watch Karate Kid. That guy has zero confidence going in except for his New Jersey attitude, but once he gets taught by Miyagi how to defend himself, he feels that he's more confident in taking on an entire school full of bullies. And of course Elizabeth Shue wants to suck his dick. That makes sense. This movie makes zero sense. Like, zero sense to me. So, at the end of this, I'm gonna go ahead and give it like 2 hater slippers, bro. The fact that I fell asleep twice, that's for one of the hater slippers. Like, the worst sin you can make in movies, making the audience bored. And it's like, some movies like Future War was so bad, but it was still interesting. Like The Room, so bad, still interesting. But being bored, that's bad. That's a bad that you can't come back from.